Okay, so we're going to find everything, but on your homework tonight, I'm only going to make you find 3 things, okay? And I'll tell you exactly what I want you to do. So here is this problem. This is what's going to happen. You're going to get a problem that looks just like this, okay? Now, certain problems will tell you a lot of the things they're going to tell you to graph it. But in order to graph it, we need to find all of this information, okay? So the first thing that we need to do on my list, it said determine A, B, and C. So A is always in front of x squared, B is always in front of x, C is what's left over without a variable. So what is my A? Positive or negative? Okay. What's my B? Do you see a bx term? So that means it's 0. And what is my C? Do you see a C term? You guys, y is never going to play a role in it. So you're just looking at this side. I only see an x squared term. So that means A is -5, B is 0, C is 0. Again, that's because these other 2 terms were not here. The next thing that you're going to have to tell me to do is, does it open up or down? So we're going to write opens. That's what I like to write, opens. So is my parabola, that U-shaped graph that's on the front page, is it going to open up or down? We're going to write down. And the reason that we chose down was because A is negative. The next thing we're going to determine is we're going to determine if the vertex is the maximum point or the minimum point. So that means, is it at the top of the graph or is it at the bottom of the graph? Because it opens down, the vertex is the maximum point. That means it is the top of your graph. It's the highest point on your graph. And again, why is the vertex the maximum point? Because A is negative. Those always go hand in hand, you guys. The down, the max and the min and the up and the down, they go hand in hand. Now, so that took care of determining A, B, and C, determine whether it opens up or down, determine the vertex, and now it says find the axis of symmetry. So the axis of symmetry is always an equation. X equals the opposite of B over 2A, always. Okay, so I'm going to leave the opposite, I'm going to leave the negative sign. What is B, you guys? 0. What is A? I heard it, -5. You guys, is there an opposite of 0? No, it's just 0, right? What's 2 times -5? And 0 over -10 is 0. So our axis of symmetry is x equals 0. You guys, what you need to know is whenever 0 is in the numerator, whenever there's a 0 in your numerator, it turns everything 0. And the other thing you need to know is that the axis of symmetry is always an equation. You always have to write it as x equals 0 because it's a line. Okay? Okay, now we're going to find the coordinates of the vertex. Okay. You guys, the coordinates of the vertex are always the axis of symmetry. So what did we just get for the axis of symmetry? 0. And now it says plug the axis of symmetry in for x and solve for y. So we're going to take this number and we're going to plug it into this equation. Again, you guys, the 0, I got the 0 from this information right here. I took it, it's all, this number and this number always match. So you guys, if this was a 5, you would put a 5 here. Because this is a 0, this is a 0, and then I'm going to put a 0 into my equation. Well, what is negative 5 times 0 times 0? What is it? 0. So that means my vertex is 0, 0. And the last thing, so you guys, tonight what we're really going to, tomorrow what we're really going to practice is we're really going to practice the axis of symmetry and the coordinates. Tonight what you're going to do for me is you're going to tell me if it opens up, down, if it's max or min, and this thing. This is the last thing that you're going to find for me. These are the things that don't require as much math. So the y-intercepts, it should be the y-intercept. There usually is only one. The y-intercept is 0, c. C is not, you guys, c means what is c in the equation. So what is the y-intercept? 0, well, what did we determine c was? What did we determine c was? 0. That's our answer. Okay.